What's going on, family? The Cleveland Browns of the National Football League has found their franchise quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback out of this past NFL draft. Yes, he was better than Cam Ward to me. Ain't nobody gonna sit up here and tell me that he wasn't. Well, Shedeur Sanders has proven himself right now, and the Cleveland Brown brass saw it up front. From the owner, general manager, head coach, offensive coordinator, and the rest of his teammates. Shedeur Sanders went out there and put on a show. He's better, and he outplayed Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel during mandatory minicamp and OTAs. Well, when you look at the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns know they need a quarterback that can stand toe-to-toe with the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback in Burrows. They know they need a quarterback that can stand toe-to-toe with Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. The Cleveland Browns know they got a franchise quarterback that can stand toe-to-toe with Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers in Shedeur Sanders. Well, the problem is this right here. They want to label Shedeur as a 5th round draft pick. And they're going to continue to do it through training camp. Now, Shedeur must stay focused, which I know he will, and continue to put that work in, which I know he will. And this situation going to play exactly like I've been saying. It's going to play out just like this. Russell Wilson was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks, I think as a 3rd round draft pick quarterback from Wisconsin. Well, Pete Carroll was the head coach. Pete Carroll, before that draft, went out and signed Flynn to a big-time contract. I mean a big-time, boatloads of money. And he identified him to be his franchise quarterback. As the season went on, matter of fact, even before the season, as rookie minicamp, as OTAs, as mandatory minicamp went on into the preseason, Russell Wilson showed up and crashed their party. I mean, he crashed their party. In preseason, Russell Wilson played in 3 games, threw 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. This is the way I see this Cleveland Brown quarterback situation going to turn out. Shedeur Sanders going to crash the party at that preseason game. He going to look better than Joe Flacco. He going to look better than Kenny Pickett. And he going to look better than, you already know, Dillon Gabriel, which you already look better than him. But since they drafted him in the 3rd round, Shedeur still got to go out there and put that work in and show them that they got their franchise quarterback. They know it, but they got to save face. They got to see it play out, and they got to let the play on the field decide it. So when they go to Shedeur, we don't want to hear nothing else. Mary Kay can't say nothing. Tony G can't say nothing. All the critics cannot say a word. They got to say, hey, the young fella went out there and proved himself, and he's our starting quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. Cleveland know they got a franchise quarterback. Let's pause right here and watch some videos from Shedeur Sanders out there in Cleveland.
You know, I told everybody, because everybody asked, are we keeping 4 quarterbacks? Why did they draft? I hate to say it, but why did they draft Dillon Gabriel? And I told them, Tony, what you said, and I said there's a good chance all 4 make it to the season. And I said, guys, and I know, let's let this play out. Let's just, let it play out.
Exactly.
And however it plays out, may the best man win. I mean, that's all we can ask for as Browns fans, and I'm sure it'll be Shedeur.
Once again, family, I'm just keep trying to tell you, I must continue to come over here and say this. I shouldn't have to, but I got to because there's too much stuff out there about my dog, Shedeur. I'm standing up in the paint for him. Shedeur will be the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, not next year, this year. You're going to hear plenty of talks are going out there about next year's draft. You know why they saying next year's draft they going to find their quarterback? You know why they saying that? Because they done seen Kenny Pickett up front. They done seen him at camp so far, and they know he ain't it. 54% pass completion. That's why they keep pushing that narrative. Hey, our quarterback is in next year's draft. Well, guess what? It just didn't stop there. When they saw Dylan Gabriel, the ball getting batted down, like I done showed you before, when they see how short he is, you heard Zach Jackson. Zach Jackson went out there first and saw him up close and came back and told them, hey, he don't even look like he belongs. He don't even look like an NFL quarterback. That's why Mary Kay, Tony G done got to push the narrative that the quarterback is in next year's draft. When you look at the quarterbacks that coming out for next year, they're not even close to Shedeur Sanders. I'm just being honest. Look at him. The quarterback in Clemson, who they talking about, he's not better than Shedeur Sanders. They got to push that narrative because they don't want to admit that Shedeur Sanders was treated wrong in that NFL draft. They don't want to admit that Shedeur Sanders just looked the best out of all the quarterbacks that's on the roster. And the reason why they don't want to admit that is because the name on his jersey, his last name, Sanders, and his father's name, Deion Sanders. That's it. That's it. What other reason you don't want to say this dude here is QB1 and your franchise quarterback? He doing everything y'all asked him to do. You told him to go to the bottom of the field and work with the third and fourth string. He went down there and did that. You told him come on up and run with the second string, second unit. Well, he came up and did that. He almost left camp at a 80% passing rating. 80% passing rating, completing his passes. What NFL team wouldn't want that? What NFL team wouldn't want a quarterback that can go out there and do that? As a matter of fact, ain't gonna one quarterback on the team that gonna do that. Joe Flacco ain't gonna do it. Kenny Pickett ain't gonna do it. And we know Dylan Gabriel's not gonna do it. Shedeur Sanders is the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Whether they admit it or not. They know. Oh, T.I. sang a song that said, they know, they know, they know. Oh, they know. They know. Once again, I have no doubt about it. When this training camp starts, I promise you, Shedeur Sanders can't wait to get out there and serve them up. Once again, Shedeur Sanders is the franchise quarterback. He's QB1. He will be QB1 for the Cleveland Browns this upcoming year. QB1, day one, game one. You heard it right here on Sports Talk with B. Watts. And I'm your host, Bernard Watts. I come to you by the digital airways of YouTube. I do a live show every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and a live show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I appreciate your attendance. I appreciate everything you do to support Sports Talk with B. Watts. Once again, you have a good day. See you later on tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Peace. They know, they know, they know, they know. They know.
Hey, Salo, they call me Buccified. They call me Buccified.
I'm not even gonna lie, you.
Buccified is what they call me in the champion. Look at that outfit. They call him Buccified Bird. I got inducted at the Hall of Fame in 2017
For real?
as a super fan. Well, you're gonna be the steal. The steal. You're gonna be the steal. This is the steal, baby. This is the steal. We stole Silo. Well, I'm telling you what, we stole it. They gonna bring back that in. I'm telling you what, can't nobody stop us. Back to back to back to back to back, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Can't nobody stop us. We got Shilo. Shut down, lockdown, baby.
When I walk like this,
Shut down,
you know what time it is when I walk like this.
Shut down, lockdown, baby. Buccified.
You're a good man.